Okay, looks like we are live. Well, welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. This is our happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So cheers, everybody. We have made it to another Friday.
Wait for me.
Yeah, cheers.
Oh,
Good to see you all. Let me get more folks in from the waiting room here. There we go. And it doesn't look like I'm going to get that nasty echo. So good. At least not yet.
what do we do right?
I don't know. It happens every now and then.
Oh, Bill needs in. No, wait, are you letting him in? Yeah, there we go.
Admit. Yeah. Folks rolling in from the waiting room. Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. I am Lisa, Lookout Lisa, one of your hosts tonight. And this is our topic of discussion tonight. Our other host.
Kid Vegas 19, JD.
So, welcome you all. So, we're coming to you from our home office studio here in Spokane, Washington. We're not flooded here, but it got really breezy last couple of days and rain off and on. But yeah, our state's under a lot of crazy weather right now. And I hope you all are safe and having good weather wherever folks are joining us from. So go ahead and put it in the chat where you are from. And if you're watching us on YouTube, welcome YouTube folks. KidVegas19 is monitoring YouTube. So go ahead and type in comments there and he'll bring it into the conversation and
Well, in
share it
between
always.
EarthCache finds, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, yeah. So I see in the chat we've got folks from Michigan, Northwest Spokane. Hey, Jim. Hey, out there.
It's cold West Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
South Oh, that's Michigan.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, hang on, let me move this up here.
We got Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh my goodness. Hey,
Yeah.
Don. Welcome, Don, from Tennessee. Oh, cold and windy in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Oh, Salt Lake City. Hey, Chris. And North Pole. I think we have two Santa Clauses tonight with us. That's awesome. I love it.
I
And
guess
yes, West Michigan is well represented tonight. That's
two
awesome.
Santa Clauses, there's only one thing we can do.
Oh no.
Cage match.
Oh,
Okay.
which one's naughty? Which one's nice? Virginia, Toledo,
Yeah.
more from Michigan. Yeah, my goodness. Awesome. Midwest is well represented for sure.
Oh, hi, California.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, Scott. Good to see you there. Well, we've got more folks in the waiting room. Sorry. I bet those magazines are really out of date by now after 5 years.
Cat magazines.
Yeah, our waiting room. Yeah. Oh, e-readers. Okay. You can download whatever you want. Awesome. Well, again, welcome everybody to Mappy Hour. So, our topic tonight is around Earth caches. Last time we talked about publishing caches, and Earth caches was touched on a little bit, and there's been some change ups in how Earth caches work these days or to be published and such. And this guy's not a big fan, and I'll admit some Earth caches have really gotten under my skin and they're frustrating to do. So I thought we could have a discussion around how to how to put together a good enough Earth cache that Kid Vegas 19 would actually want to go find and not get mad about it and frustrated and you know how it goes. Throw down the caching pack and stomp back to the car.
There's slight embellishment
No,
there, yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
I walk calmly back. I don't stomp back after
Okay.
throwing down my caching board.
Sure. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. After you've thrown that board. And I've never published an Earth cache, so I'm also looking for advice on putting that together. Just the whole thing. So that's our topic tonight. It's all about Earth caches. But before we get there, we do have notes from the field. I'd love to know what everybody's been up to the last couple of weeks, and maybe what you might have planned here as we're wrapping up the end of the year already. It's almost 2026, folks. Christmas is next week. It's crazy. Yeah, sorry to let you all know. Well, Santa knows. Santa's plural, no. Yep. And but before we get there, we do have a couple little ground rules just to keep everything running smoothly here. So please keep yourself on mute. If you're with us on Zoom, if you'd like to join in the conversation, just raise your hand. If you've got something for us, if it's, out of order, suddenly maybe you can answer somebody's question or have something to add to it. Just wave at the camera and hopefully we will see you and pull you in. Same with YouTube. Go
Yeah,
ahead
got
and
plenty of
oh goodness,
to
we
get
do
started.
have a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to YouTube here in a second. So Kid Vegas 19 will bring all of that in a timely manner as well to get more folks in from the waiting room. And please keep everything family friendly. Treat this like you would any other geocaching event. There might be kids in the room with us here on Zoom. We are live streaming to our YouTube channel, and this will eventually make its way into our Cache GPT, our my own AI that we have for training new cachers and learning, helping older cachers as well. Get more folks in the waiting room. Not sure that's working. There we go. Okay. Folks are coming in.
Coming in hot.
Yeah. So those are the basics. And as usual, we say, no sports spoilers, but for us, we have no games tonight, but some of you might. So no sports spoilers. If there's a sporting event going on, just keep it to yourself. All right, so we've got some hands flying up. So for notes from the field, you all get 2 minutes to share. That way we all get a chance to share and then we can move on into our topic. So Santa Claus, number one, is kicking us off. Go ahead.
Hello, Lisa. Thanks so much. As Robuster 91, I have done over 70 finds for the month and got my 600th find for the year.
Nice.
Have been hosting 4 geocaching events. My next one's this Sunday. And then I plan to attend one more community celebration to close out the year.
That's awesome.
That's very good.
Yeah, keeping very busy. Do you have a time limit tonight as well?
No, not tonight.
Not tonight. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, then you can just be at ease and join the conversation as you want.
I
Awesome.
plan to.
Okay, good. So we've got
Mike spoiled everything.
hmm?
Mike spoiled everything.
Generic spoiler, some sports team is going to win today.
Thanks, Mike.
Boomer
I
sooner.
said no spoilers. Okay, I think we've got Scott and then Melissa next.
Well, first off, congratulations to the Seattle football team. That was a terrific game last night. I'm sorry the way that it ended, but it was a great game. As far as geocaching, and yeah, I didn't even spoil who won, did I? But you might have, Lisa.
I thought. It's okay. Yeah.
As far as geocaching, yeah, I'm setting a cache tonight, and I've found a few caches this week. But the main thing that I've been doing is preparing for 101 on 101, which is kind of like what you guys do with your cache machines. My
There's your route.
background is
yeah.
the route that I took 2004, and the idea is to start the year with 101 geocache finds on January 1st, thus 101 on 101. And so we got a team together, and we put together our route last night, and getting ready to do it. So a lot of work, but a lot of fun.
Wow.
And
Awesome.
this will be the 11th time that I've attempted to do 101 on 101, and not always successful.
Always. Okay. Well, let's not break that streak.
Let's try not to.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much.
Yeah. Oh
Excellent.
gosh, have fun. Cool. All right, we've got Melissa and then Jim Starcasher.
So I had got to go to my 2 lovely Christmas events. My husband and I did safely make it to Bob and Nancy's reindeer games. We had a fabulous time. Unfortunately, the weather was a little deteriorating, so we stayed till the prescribed time, but things were going longer and we didn't get to stay for that because we wanted to make sure we were at a hotel while it was still daylight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, and we had about a 45-minute drive to our hotel, but we did make it safely. We had a fantastic time. Bob and Nancy put on such a great event every year. It's worth the drive.
Excellent.
We had so much fun. And yes, Jim Starcasher was there also and stuff. And that's kind of been my geocaching because we're expecting a grandbaby any day. And Mom and Dad and 3 of the 4 boys have been down with the flu all week.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So grandma had to go pick one up from school the other day, and we have not gotten anything,
Yeah.
thankfully.
Mhm.
So but most of them are on the mend. Mom is the slowest one, and the doctors actually put her on Tamiflu.
Okay.
But yeah, we're hoping everybody's well before Christmas. And we don't have a baby till after Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my goodness, busy
But-
times.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it's been busy, busy, busy here.
Well, good. Well, thanks for the report. Sounds like a ton of fun. I always wish I was closer to y'all in the Midwest there. You have such great events.
Mhm.
And yeah, I love seeing you all when we can. All right, we've got Jim next.
Yep. Well, I'll have to reiterate about Bob and Nancy's nice party. Loved it. Loved it. But anyways, I wanted to mention it. Next Monday evening is my CCE, so I'll be doing that. Hopefully, some people will be attending. I don't know. We'll see. But I also have, I already have my the confirmation of the cache I'm hiding for that event. For a shared FDF. It's been approved. It's gonna be published right at the end of the event. So,
Mhm.
anyways, that's all set up. So I'm basically ready for it. The other thing I did yesterday is I went and took my picture with the 25 in the background for the 25th anniversary that's coming up. That has to be done in next week. I haven't done the logging of the cache yet, but at least I got the picture. I'm ready to do that now. So, and then I got the coordinates for it, so I'll be able to do that. So remember, everybody, it's what is GCA 2025. Need to log that by the end of the year. So
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that that goes away at the end of the year, that virtual or
Yep.
location list.
Occasionalist.
and they'll
Mhm.
lock it, so you can't be like me with most of my other caches where I'm way behind in logging. I have to log that one this
Oh.
year because they'll
Okay.
lock it.
That's
That makes
pro
sense.
tip number 2. All
Yeah.
in one. Good job.
Yeah. I'll have to get out that information on my socials as a reminder to everybody. Yeah, cool. Well, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see, we've got Tom Fuller and then
Yeah.
Ken.
Yeah, but if we had an outside event in Redmond, Oregon, and before that, I went to the challenge area east of Redmond and did 2 challenge caches that I was eligible for. The first one was the Oregon Forest Challenge, and that I've been working on for 19 years.
Oh my goodness.
The first one I logged, and then yeah, it was 2023 was the last forest that I found a cache in. But yeah, there's 12 national forests in Oregon. Now I found many in the Deschutes and some in the other ones, but well, there's a couple of them that I never had found until 2023 when I did the Lookout Tower Challenge. A couple of them, and so and then the other one was the 25 Large Challenge. I figured out that I have found 34 large caches, and I've actually hidden one that's more than well, more than a foot tall, more than a foot wide.
Wow.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So Yep. And I'll talk to you later about earth caches.
Perfect.
Okay, excellent, good. So yeah, hold those thoughts top of mind. Well, I think we've got Ken next.
So, I unfortunately did not make it to Bob and Nancy's event.
Hmm.
Just so many events going on the holiday season and trying to balance a plate of caching, family, and everything else. But did actually go out and do a little bit of caching. I had to go down to Evansville, Mount Carmel for my work, and so I grabbed a few caches on the long route and drive, including a couple of them that I was working on for a long range challenge, something I saw somebody post and there's a challenge checker for, no challenge itself, but to have found a cache placed in every day of a year, not cumulatively. So I'm now 3 days away from having found a cache placed in every day of 2010.
Oh,
Um,
word.
so one of those stupid side challenges that I put on my plate for several years at a time.
Yeah.
Um, so hopefully, maybe get a couple more of those when I go south again because my a couple of those remaining are in February, and for some reason we don't hide too many of those up in the Great White North, and if we do, they don't. Well, I'm technically not the Great White North since that's my neighbor to the east, south, and north of me, but um, but yeah, just so worked on that. Got a few caches, but the bigger news is I have logged a bunch of my caches. I thought I was down to 465 to go. And then I realized I had forgot to offload some off my GPS, so I'm back up to 564. So
Huh.
a little bit of a step back. I was so excited to be under 500. But I am just getting ready to start logging, going caching. So, get to relive a good memory.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so my goal is by the end of 2025 to be logging caches from 2025. So, and if I do, then I'll go out and find a 25 to log on something. But that's kind of my incentive, something to help push me that way. Um,
Sounds great.
but yeah, so that's kind of my thing. Going to an event tomorrow. I'm not sure why they moved it, but it's a white elephant exchange. Usually, the person who hosts it does it after the new year, so that we have one last chance to get rid of the junk that we didn't want from all the other white elephants that we've got. But they for some reason moved it before Christmas, so we'll see. But so yeah, not a huge amount of caching, but actually did get out and sign my name on some logs, which felt weird. And more importantly, I got some logs done, so I feel like I actually am. My number of finds actually went up, and my drought is no longer over 500 days on cache, geocaching.com.
Okay.
Excellent. There's probably a checker. You should check to see if there's for a challenge of logging a cache every day in a year, and maybe try that for 2026. Just one every day.
That sounds like work.
Yeah, yeah. I prefer to batch my
You
work.
batch your work,
Yeah.
okay.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the update. Let's see. We've got Vince and then Chris.
Yeah, most of my geocaching mostly has just been a lot of events lately now that winter's set in pretty good. Um, I am a part of a group that as far as placing caches, we're getting ready to hide a bunch of winter friendly caches. I'm one of there's several winter series that have been coming out, but um, mostly yeah, it's a series we have coming out around the end of the year. They're all winter, friendly caches and ones that you can find in the winter. And then other than that, just gonna plan on I checked my calendar and looks like between now and the end of the year I can attend at least one event every single day for the rest of the year. Uh Actually coming up this week, at Thursday Christmas morning at midnight, we got a catcher that he always holds a midnight Christmas morning event because he has a Christmas birthday. So So yeah, so I'll be attending an event then. And other than that, well, next week, just for instance, Tuesday and Wednesday around here, I think we've got 5 CCE events all in our local area within that 2 day span. So yeah, I guess it's going to be it's CCE week is coming up now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I can relate to that, which I will share on my notes from the field as well. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, we have had quite a few events in our area as well. I haven't been able to make all of them, but
Yeah.
yeah, gotta check my calendar again.
I don't think we have the opportunity to go to an event every day until the end of the year, but it's
Mhm.
close.
Close. Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Vince. So I've got Chris next.
All right, I haven't had a chance for a lot of caching because ski season has started, and even though it kind of sucks, all you guys out in the East and Midwest who actually are getting snow, please feel free to send some our way so we can actually go skiing. But I finished this. It came on. I got it about a half hour before we started. I just finished it, so I had to pop in and say, yeah, I did it in about a half hour.
Oh, wow, that's
Wow.
pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was pretty proud of myself on that one.
I hear they're tough.
For anybody who doesn't get Cache Crate, that was in the Cache Crate this year. I always like these little puzzles. We have a monthly event here, and whenever you put one in, I bring that to the next event, and then
Great.
everybody sits there and does it during the event.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good, good. I really love reading the Discover logs because of the secret code. Yeah, cool. Well, thanks, Chris. Yeah, we've had the same problem here. All of the snow that we had was washed away by the rain, and we had, mid-50s weather and just deluge. Not the deluge they had on the wet side of our state, but a lot of rain here. So snow's gone. The mountains are bare. So we're hoping it comes back. I was actually wanting to try to get some skiing in. Haven't been skiing in 15 years almost, I think. It's been way too long. So yeah, we have a few notes from our field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we get to our notes, let me read off
We've got YouTube.
YouTube's here. So we've got Nicholson B. Genius from Florida.
Mhm.
Salutations from Florida folk. And they go on to say, Yay, Earth Caches. I published my first one, and now I'm working on my fourth.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. And their goal is, not mine. She writes, my only goal is to keep working on my calendar.
Mm.
Yeah. We got Great 2 from Oak Grove, Missouri is there. Jim Clark says there's only one Santa and he's in the North Pole, New York. And Houston, Texas Dave has popped in. So yeah, welcome.
Yeah, awesome. I did a handful of those folks were with me on my live that I did just yesterday. So good to see you guys again on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. So yeah, we made it to an event. It was a cacher that moved into our area recently, within I think last year or so.
I think even less time than that. I think
Maybe.
Chris might know him. He's Dave. He goes by up here. He's going by Linden UT. And yeah, he came up from, I believe, Salt Lake area.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure exactly where in Utah. I forgot to ask.
Yeah.
But yeah, new to our area. So he threw an event to get to meet all of us. And then just so happened that there were a couple caches in the same park. So as the
One of
event,
them was his.
yeah, just so happened. So as the event wrapped up, we did a walkabout the park with a group of us and got those caches, which I have yet to log. So
That's correct. Lion Den.
Lion Den. Yes, thank
I
you,
had
Fred.
the Y in the wrong place. Yep.
Yeah. And then I actually found a cache today. I got my work done by about 1 o'clock today. Got all my emails set up throughout the weekend and social posts and such done. And all the cache crates obviously shipped since folks are already putting together their puzzles. Yeah. And of course, all the advent boxes went out earlier, well, actually the end of November. And hero crates as well that go out every solstice. We try to get them out early in December so they come before Christmas. So it's really been busy. I got everything else done. So I thought I'm gonna go. One of my favorite things to do is watch the eagles on Lake Coeur d'Alene. We get anywhere from 10 to, I think there's been over 300 to 400 sighted in a day in this one end of this lake. That's about a half an hour drive from here. And we're kind of dwindling down towards the end of that. But it was a nice sunny day, brisk, windy, but I got to see a couple eagles. One flew right over me, maybe 30 feet away. And yeah, I know you're not supposed to get so close to bald eagles, but what do you do when they get close to you? You just admire them. They're gorgeous animals. So that was really fun, and hiked over to the edge of Higgins Point where there's a geocache. And it was tricky to get to because of all the trees that had fallen. I had to traverse across a huge tree. Actually, I didn't go across it. I had to work my way around it. The trail actually zigzagged, and the tree fell over, I think, 2 or 3 different zags of that. So it was a little bit of over terrain on slippy, mossy hill with the lake below me. But I found the cache, so I made it back home. So it was really nice to get out and get some sunshine.
Yeah, it was sunny too.
Yeah, yeah. Most of the day it was until then there was a wreck on the freeway. So a little slow getting home, but it was okay. Doesn't look like anybody was hurt. It was just a fender bender. Thank goodness.
And it wasn't you.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. No, it was way back in the back. And my CCE has published as well. It's I wanted to do it earlier at our local library here in Spokane Valley, but they were booked up. So it ended up being on Tuesday the 30th, like squeaking in the very, last day and a half or so to get my CCE in. But it's all about putting together Adventure Lab GeoArt. So we're going to be building WA just on this side of the border and ID just across the Idaho border, and looking for, I'll make a pitch here, looking for folks that might have a spare, Adventure Lab credit that they might want to help us out
Sell.
with. Yeah, no,
No, not
that's
so. You
good.
can't sell them.
Yeah,
Come
it's
on.
theirs. Yeah, but like to loan us the use of. So yeah, reach out to me if that's something that you might want to be a part of. But I know this is getting popular in lots of other areas too. So, and I'm also looking for recycled ones. If maybe Adventure Lab has run its course, maybe it's time to recycle it. You can do that and give it a whole new life, new coordinates. I definitely have seen that, especially around Bash, Midwest GeoBash. So I'm like, wait, I did this Adventure Lab last year. But there it is again, all new and fresh. So cool. So I'm excited about that and relearning all about putting together Adventure Labs. And so Scott, I might be reaching out to you later this week going, oh, what have I got myself into? But I've got a small cadre of other local cachers that I've already met with. We met with them and had dinner the other night and getting some plans together for
Yeah, I
this.
think after your event, we'll know a lot more, like how many sets we need, things
Yeah.
like that. We don't even know that much yet.
Yeah, we really don't. And, I can't plot out coordinates until I know how many I'm working with to actually make some spelling. Needs to be probably, I think we calculated at least about 35. It should be pretty easy to get these days. And maybe I can, hey, ground speak. Well, we'll see. But and the other nice thing about AL putting this together is just a geo art. It's not like putting together a geo tour when you've got a date that everything launches. This is just, at our leisure. So it's a little more relaxed, which is definitely what I like at the stage of my life, the season of my life. Yes, Scott, that's absolutely right. Yeah, once you've done an AL, even though it's been recycled and refreshed, you've done it. You can't do it again, but it can be reused in our art, basically. The coordinates can move. So yeah, so that's basically what we've been up to. We're looking forward to getting some more caching in and some events. This guy's going on vacay for the next week
Yeah.
plus. Yeah.
Yeah. Next work week is vacation week. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I'll be taking a little bit of time off as well. And yeah, we've got some family coming out to visit my brother and hanging out with my parents, 95-year-old parents. Yeah. Still living at home. All right, so I think we can move on into our topic, which is all about earth caches. So I'd love to know from you all, to you, I guess start with this question is what makes a good earth cache? Let's kind of do a round robin. What to you works well for an earth cache? So Robuster 91 kicks off.
For me, what makes a really good Earth cache is one that is not too simple, but simple where it's not a whole long list of page where you have to study so much to figure out what the answers need to be. It's simple where you understand what the subject is, what you're trying to study, and where it doesn't require a lot of
Simple, but
knowledge
simple where it's not
Yeah.
a whole long list of page where you have to yeah little ghost of Christmas past are coming back. It's a good thing to have where it's not too sciencey where you can understand it, although some reviewers want a lot of sciencey. So it's good to have a simple cache that works for the area, for the location, and can teach a really good science lesson based on the geography of the location. There are a whole host of subjects you can do. If you research the right one, you can get a good subject published or even discovered by going there.
Yeah, that's that would be a lot of my complaints as well, is what was listed there. Chief being the length of some of these earth caches. Um, I don't mind it when it's super interesting, but uh, I've learned since I started geocaching that, you know, geology just doesn't spark joy. So I'm not into reading that much, and
Okay.
they are earth caches, so there's a lot of geology, but
Mhm.
it's nice every once in a while to run into the why trees have rings type earth cache,
Mhm.
and then
That's That's why I like traveling too, because when you
yeah.
travel, you get to discover a geological location you didn't know about, or you can place one in a location you just discovered a geology about that may not have an earth cache in like another state or country that you haven't been to and just traveled to.
Absolutely. Yeah. Traveling and looking at earth caches. Yeah. We have such a variety of geology around our world.
Mhm.
And traveling, you can definitely see, learn about different, what makes our earth up, basically. And then that you can hide them anywhere. It can be a vacation cache as opposed
Yes.
to regular physical hidden cache. Yeah.
That's why I have about 16 out myself, some in the state of
Mhm.
Colorado, some in the Caribbean.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have to change my answer. Why the petrified tree has rings? Will that work for you, Jim?
No. Biology. Yeah. Petrified tree. I like that. There we go. All right, we've got a few more hands up. So we've got Scott and then Tom Fuller.
So your question is what makes me like an earth cache? I like an earth cache that I can see what they're trying to tell me. That the answer is not brown, as a friend of mine would say. That I'm there, I can see, oh, yeah, that is what they're talking about. They're describing what they're talking about. I can see what they're talking about. And that's one of the keys for me for having a good earth cache. And then when you talk about setting them, I have lots of things to say about that.
Okay. Okay, cool. We'll wrap back around to you then. Tom Fuller.
Yes, okay, so the first Earth cache that I published was on BLM land. I did have to get permission, even though there were physical geocaches within a half mile. So I did make contact with the BLM and got permission, and it's at Crack in the Ground, which is yeah, very unique to Oregon. And I
Scott?
just ask them, I tell them how many steps they have to take into the crack in the ground because you can't get a GPS signal in there. And then I ask them how wide it is and what kind of rock it is. I said, don't say it's just hard. The answer is basalt. and and I did give a history of how it was formed and so forth. It's a little bit of geology talk in there, but you'll learn a little bit about the geology of the area.
Mhm.
So after I got that one published, I decided I wanted to become a platinum EarthCache master.
Hmm.
So I had to get 2 more published. They're not as popular as Crack on the Ground, but yeah, the second one was only 2.5 miles to the east of Crack in the Ground, and nobody's done it in 4 or 5 years.
Oh,
And but then I had to go across the country and find earth caches. I found earth caches in 8 states, I believe. And one of my favorites was in Pennsylvania, Warren, Pennsylvania. It's an oil well next to the drive-through at a McDonald's in Warren, Pennsylvania.
wow.
And all you have to do is read the sign and answer the questions. So
Okay.
yeah, it, it
How
pumps,
old is that one?
it pumps 2 or 3 gallons of oil every day.
Huh.
Wow.
We missed that one.
Maybe might not have been hidden when we were there.
Yeah.
We'll have to go take a look.
That
Yeah.
sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Were
Yeah.
you there at the there was a Geo Woodstock
Woodstock.
there?
Yep. Yeah, we were sponsors.
Yeah. So yeah, I've done and some of the best ones are in national parks where you can't hide a physical geocache. You can
Yeah.
do
That's
a
a good point.
virtual,
Mhm.
whatever, but yeah, but you have to contact the Park Service and to do that. I found a couple in Crater Lake.
Hmm.
Interesting. So Scott, you were waving your actual hand.
I was waving my actual hand because Tom brought up something that's a major change in the setting earth caches, and then he just mentioned the exception.
Oh, okay.
The major change is you don't have to get the landowner's permission anymore. If it's an area that geocachers and the public can get to, you can go ahead and submit that earth cache. The exception might be, I would probably not do that in national parks. I would go ahead and continue to contact the National Park Service, explain what you're going to do, and get their permission to do it because they can be a little more stickler. But that is one of the major changes they came up with.
No, that's a big
And
one for sure.
yeah, it removes a lot of removes a lot of trouble with, a lot of people are resistant to make contact and, who do you contact and so forth. And again, as long as generally, and I'm just going to say generally, if it's an area where geocachers can get to, you can publish an earth cache.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, good to know. S-Gerbs is asking if you have a reference for that. I believe there's a blog post or something. I'm not sure, or updated guidelines.
Yeah, I think there is. I went ahead and contacted GeoWare number 9 to confirm it.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Cool. Well, that's good to know. I mean, that does take down a big hurdle. It's like, well, who owns this, rift in the earth. It's a challenge to figure some of those things out. For sure. So interesting. Cool.
Yeah. And it was also, and I have no idea which podcast it was on, but there was, I think it was the GCHQ podcast. They had one of the EarthCache originators, and I believe they discussed that there.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Well,
Well, let
go
me-
back and listen to that. Oh,
Let me jump in here.
from YouTube?
Yeah.
Are you waving?
So,
YouTube is waving.
so Nicole B Genius says, I use my CCE on a geocaching show and tell event over the summer. It was lots of fun. I started by heading to the library and checking out some books on local geology. They want to say I'm a bit of a science nerd, love earth caches with charts and graphs. So there you go.
Well, I love geology. So those were always my favorite classes to take. Geology ones and learning about, because we have such interesting geology around here. It's interesting everywhere, actually, but I guess I'm a geology nerd to a small extent. But I don't want to have to take a geology college course 401 just to do an earth cache. So, Robert, did you have more to add?
I did. I just wanted to say that research helps. I mean, there's also, if you're trying to learn about a geology thing, there are some other earth caches in other states that you can study and maybe ask the owner's permission to use some of their science information to help get your earth cache published. A lot of reviewers, including the one here in Colorado, are tough. They require a lot of sciencey information and the cache built a certain way in order to get it published. Other ones, like the one in the Caribbean and in Hawaii, if you have enough information and it makes sense enough, they will publish it as soon as you submit it. So it all depends on your region and location, but research really helps, especially there are also Facebook pages where people have um, a page where you can go and ask questions about what kind of rock this is, what kind of geology this is in this location, and they'll have some people that'll step up and answer your questions and be able to give you feedback on what it is and enable you to research that location and then try to create an earth cache and get it submitted. Then it's just working with the reviewer to see if you can get published right away or if they require more information to put onto the cache page in order to get it published. And sometimes that can be a back and forth for a few bits.
That definitely makes sense. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for that.
So, Mr. Geocaching on YouTube said, did my Geo Challenge of the Month with an Earth Cache.
Ah, excellent. Good work. Yeah. Might have to work around that for next season. Yeah, the season is wrapping up quickly here. So, I guess a good question then, something that has come up is how do you keep the write-up short while still teaching something? And we've talked about, it's definitely both of our pet peeve is you've got to read through an encyclopedia just to find out what you're supposed to do, and then you got to look back up and make sense of it all. So any tips on keeping the write-up short while still teaching? Tom Fuller?
Yeah, okay, so my 3 earth caches have no signage whatsoever. So I do have to explain what you're looking for, at least. And my second one, I asked, did you walk across a kapuka to get to this earth cache? And you had to look up what a kapuka was if you didn't know. It's
Yeah.
an area that has grass in it or whatever that's surrounded by volcanic rocks, whatever.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you basically asked a yes or no question that
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Hmm?
that the person then had to think about and
Yeah,
then match it
and
up.
had to
Yeah.
look it up if you didn't know what it was. And
Okay.
and believe it or not, there was a physical geocache in the Twin Fault that I found, and then got the EarthCache published. A local had hidden an ammo can down in the crack in the fault. Yeah, I found caches down in volcanic caves and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's a interesting uh, area that I've done one that was called Hole. It was put in by Log Scaler, one of my friends,
Hmm.
and I had to walk about a mile and a half from where you could park to get to it, and there was a hole in the ground in the ammo can, and the BLM had removed it, and he got on their case and he put another one back there, and they haven't removed it.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
right.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing. Yeah. So we've got S Gerbs. Did I say that right? Next.
Yeah, ask Gerbs,
S
called,
Gerbs.
so I have 20 Earth caches that I own, and 5 others that I've hidden for other people or helped hide with others. Taught an Earth cache hiding seminar on 3 different occasions for the MyGo Winter Social over the last 3 years, and I've done it all different kinds of ways. I've tried to make very, very simple earth caches. I've tried to make more challenging ones, and everything in between. And what I found is that if people don't like earth caches, they're not going to like them whether they're easy or they're difficult. And so Vince, VJ, is a good buddy of mine, and he likes to give me a hard time. Even if they are yes or no questions, he'll be like, "Oh, that was too hard." You know, and that's one of the things that so I've taken to hiding more difficult earth caches because I'm like, hey, I like I want to fill in I want to fill in my DT grid of earth caches, and so I'm going to try to inspire other people. And so, yeah, my earth caches might require a little bit more work or maybe a little bit more reading. But if you do the cache page reading, it actually is pertinent to the sites, and so it'll be easier, in my opinion, to answer the questions. But you just have different people who like them or don't like them, and so even if you make it easy, again, I made an Earth cache that truly, in my opinion, was a 1.5 difficulty. It was very short. The questions were very easy. It was essentially, is this a cave? And the Earth cache page talked about, no, it's not a cave. It was very explicit that it wasn't a cave. And the very first question is this a cave? And I cannot tell you how many people get the question wrong. Like you can look at it and you can tell it's not a cave because things have fallen over to make it enclosed.
Oh, okay.
People are like, yeah, no, this is a cave. And so um, I don't try to make it easy anymore because it doesn't matter in my opinion. And I'm going to try to find or hide earth caches that I would want to find. But maybe other earth cache CEOs have had different
I
experiences, but
would.
I've tried to make them easy and it still doesn't matter.
I like that. I like that approach of hide what you'd want to find.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. So you've hidden, uh, the full range of difficulty of Earth Cache. Your audience, let's call your audience the people that like Earth Caches. Do you see uh like an equal split of those people like the easy ones as the people that like the more challenging ones, or does your audience gravitate to the more challenging ones themselves?
So the ones that seem to get more favorite points are the ones that are more unique and more challenging. So
Okay.
Mhm.
I went on a geology talk that like a local university led at one of our county parks. And he taught me something that I had not known about. There were sapping valleys. And what a sapping valley is there is a stream underwater, or underground, that pulls all the sand out. And eventually, once the sand is pulled out, the weight of the dirt on top collapses and it creates a valley, but it looks like a light bulb. So it's not a V shape. It's like a light bulb shaped valley. So it's a very unique look. And it's something that doesn't happen everywhere because you have to have an underground spring in order for this to happen. And not all underground springs that make this happen because you need the sand. And so what I did is I had cachers visit 4 locations. So it was a 4.5, 2.5. So you had to do some walking and you had to visit 2 different sapping valleys, both different from each other. And people who like them are just like, hey, wow, this is really intense, but like this is a lot of fun. Like, and I learned something new that I would have never learned before. And so, obviously I had to explain what Sapping Valley was and then take you to 4 spots so that you could look and see what the actual difference was and what had happened here. And that one has gotten a lot of favorite points, but it doesn't get visited very often because it's a 4.5, 2.5. And people realize right off the bat, that's more work than I want to put in. I don't want to visit 4 locations for an Earth cache. And so they just skip it.
No, that totally makes sense. Yeah. Because when we're crunched on time and we see that an Earth cache is right there, but it involves, multiple stops, we don't have time to do it, unfortunately. But
Same with
still,
multis
and multis.
it's not
Mhm.
Earth cache specific, but
True. Yeah, that's true. It's more multiple stops.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love that you add the difficulty level there, just like in puzzle caches. How many times you have to rework a puzzle should keep upping the difficulty. So how many stops you have to make and such. Awesome. Well, cool. I'm so glad that you joined us tonight. You've got some really
Yeah.
good insights for us. And if you have more, don't hold back. Scott, go ahead, Scott.
Oops, 1 second. I was doing some other stuff,
Oh,
doing some
sorry,
other
cut you
stuff
off guard.
there. So, uh, so one thing I'm going to promote is there's a man who has a YouTube channel called Everything Earth Cache. And it's very interesting. He does a very good job explaining a lot of different parts of earth caching. So encourage people who like earth caches or want to learn more about earth caches to go ahead and check them out. Is to answer your question and then expand on it. Your question was, how do you keep the description simple? And this goes down to some of the new guidelines that they've come up to. And one of the new guidelines that they came up with is teach one thing. Just concentrate on one thing. And, there's 22 different errors, segments in Earth's development. We don't need to know all of those. Don't even list all of those. Just go on to your point, make your point, and then go on. I'm going to share a screen if you'll let me.
Yep, you're good.
Okay, oops. Okay, I have to find it. I've been playing around with stuff. There it is. Okay, can you see my Santa Clara Estuary Earth Cache?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so this is an older Earth cache that I've updated to meet the new guidelines. Here's one thing that I now do with my Earth caches. This is not a test. This is your observations. I'm asking for your observations. And so what they do, and then what's interesting that I find interesting is if you can make it interactive. And so here it's interactive. I have hidden a measuring tool. Okay, to kind of explain the Earth cache. The Earth cache is at the Santa Clara River. It's an estuary. It has a berm that fills up much of the year, and the water will back up to several feet deep. And then when it rains, that berm will break and all the water will escape. So what we're asking you to do is to measure how wide the estuary is, how deep the estuary is. There is a measuring tool hidden where you actually go out there to some coordinates, drop it in the water, and see how deep the water is. And then you're going to tell me, from your observation, is the berm in place or is the berm broken? And JD, I think you might enjoy this one.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like the Glacial Lake Missoula floods.
Yeah.
That's what happened on a big scale.
Yeah.
It kept damming up and then it would break
Mm-hmm.
and dam
Right.
up and break. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And this meets the guidelines perfectly. It has the logging requirements right in front. We're only talking about one object, one item, and I'm trying to be interactive. The one thing that I would change is don't put all the questions up front. What I've done with other ones is I'll talk about something, I'll ask you for your observations. I'll talk about something, I'll ask you for your observations. I think what can happen, especially on more traditional earth caches that aren't as interactive as this one, is people will look at the questions, scan, not read the information you presented, and just fill in the logging requirements. And, that's not the intent of the EarthCache. The intent of the EarthCache is to give you information that you can learn.
Yeah.
But
I've been
that's,
guilty of that as well. And I think that's how, we end up saying that, well, of course this is a cave because we didn't look and read and understand what was being asked.
Yeah. It goes back deep. So it's a cave.
yeah. Yeah. And when you make them so long, that's really the tendency. I geocache with people they'll start doing Earth Clash, and about the third paragraph, it's blah, blah, blah. and blah, blah, blah. What are the questions? Scroll down to the questions and then do exactly what I described, except they had to at least scroll down to the bottom of the logging requirements.
Yeah.
So, Lisa, as you set yours, I would say, find something interesting, see if you can make it interactive, stick on one thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then rather than put all the requirements on top, put the requirements in the Earth Cache.
Break it up a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Break it up a little bit. Break it up
Mhm.
again. Teach them. Yeah, well, you're in education.
Yeah.
Show them what, teach them,
Mhm.
show them what you taught them, and and
Tell 'em
Yeah,
what
yeah.
you done.
they
Yeah.
got it.
Tell them what you're going to tell them, or teach them, and then tell them what you just told them.
Thank
Yeah.
you. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for me.
Okay, that's really good
Excellent.
advice. Thank you. Let's see. We've got Ken next, I believe.
Ken and then Dick.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I found as far as being an EarthCache owner, one is I took the easy way into it. I found somebody who did not want to maintain their hides any longer, and I picked the caches that I felt were interesting, unique, and more importantly, involved a hike. Because if you have something roadside, you're going to get a lot more submissions. If you have something that requires a hike in, you'll have a lot less people looking for it, and people who generally are doing it for that know what they're doing. So that's kind of my thing is I try and find one that it manages the logging that I have to monitor because that's part of ownership. So if I can get them to the point where I only have to answer 6 logs a year, hopefully they enjoyed it and I don't have to sit there and do as much work. Because as up to date as I am on logging caches, sometimes I feel that way on the answering stuff too. So, I am slightly better just because I know this is being recorded. But yeah, no, I'm and stuff, and I am one that likes to have my what it is up top. Part of that is because I cache with a GPS most of the time. It takes a very, 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 very long time to sit there and hit the down button on my GPS to get to the bottom of a 10 paragraph description.
Mhm.
So I know with most people on the phone, it's nice and quick, but for those of us still stuck on GPSs. The other thing is sometimes you hit character limit on those long descriptions.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have 5 questions. Question 1, question 2, question 3, and I have what, and I don't have 4 or 5. So
See, Robert,
just as something to kind of keep in mind for those of us dinosaurs that are still doing this the old-fashioned way. Well, the mildly old-fashioned way. I guess the old-fashioned way would be paper, which doesn't have that problem.
and a compass and the stars and yeah.
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 Yep. So.
And an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those days too, when there was the character limit and it would be truncated and you didn't even know what the questions were. So before you went out to do an Earth cache, you had to know what you're looking for and what you need to answer. Scott, did you have I saw your hand come up quick. Nope. Okay. Hang on. Let me see here. We've got it's Dick next.
Yeah. A couple of comments. I would say in response to what Ken said about putting his caches out, I think it was Ken that said like to have people hike. I enjoy EarthCaches. I really like it. I like the education value of it. But at 84 years old, my hiking ability has become a lot limited. So I don't do much in the way of caches, EarthCaches that require you to go to multiple locations and cover a wide area. So I'm a little confused. I think if you care enough to want to put out an EarthCache to educate people, doing it in a way that restricts the number of people that can do it is counterproductive. If you care enough to want to educate people and put one out, I would think you'd want as many as you could attract. The other comment I was going to make, I like what Scott said about not burying. I don't like it when you have to scroll down, as Ken said. Now that we've transitioned from GPS to more on the cell phone, it's not as big a problem. But I also echo his comments about having to scroll through a very lengthy dissertation to try to get to the bottom and find out what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So I like the idea of having, if not at the top, having the questions somewhere up, close to the top so that you can figure out what it is you're supposed to be thinking about as you read through the description and look at whatever it is you're supposed to be looking at. One caution I would say, I like the idea that Scott says about breaking it up, but I see a problem with that. And that is, having a bit of a description and then a question and then more description and question. It would be easy to get the questions lost. And I think there would be times when you would get responses where someone misses one of the questions and didn't see it or didn't realize it was there. I think it'd be important at least to indicate somewhere very clearly, either in your description by putting it in a different color, maybe the question in a different color, or some way of saying near the beginning or somewhere that there's going to be X number of questions so that you don't end up, answering 4 out of 5 questions. And then, a week later when the cache owner comes back and says, well, you didn't answer all the questions and you are now 137 miles away or further, and you're not going to go back and try to figure out what it is you missed. So, I don't know what the answer to that is necessarily, but I just want to throw that out that would be a possibility when you break the questions up into separate spots throughout the description. So I like that idea, but I think there could be a problem with that. Anyway.
No, I agree that could backfire.
Yeah.
That happened to me one time. There was one last question that was down at the bottom, past some other things, and I completely missed it. And the cache owner came back and said, sorry, you didn't answer all the questions. And luckily it was a local cache, so I was able to go back and finish what I needed to do. But it does need to be clear how many questions there are. And you brought up a couple of good points as well, Dick, around, do we want to think about, handy cacheable caches, earth caches? ones that are drive up or people, that really truly need to train one
Well,
to do
funny
that.
that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nicholson
Mhm.
says, I'll start here. I reached out to local Earth cache hiders and even the reviewer for help. They were awesome and helpful. Goes on to say for Earth Cache Day, I worked on making an Earth cache that was wheelchair accessible.
Mhm.
Found a really cool place at a park that was perfect and had it published just in time.
Oh,
So,
excellent. Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, that's genius.
Yeah.
And Mr. Geocaching says uh says now I have some ideas for some Earth caches. I have not hid one, but tried. I'll get back on and do it soon.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, you and I we can be cache hiding buddies, as I do want to hide one sometime in the next couple of months. Since I never have hidden an Earth cache. It's one I haven't done. I have a webcam cache under my belt. But that was a long time ago, and unfortunately it's long archived. But yeah, and then another thing, we do have AI as a tool. I know I think it was Scott mentioned it in answer to Lori looking for some ideas onto, a topic to work around for her Earth cache in her area. And I've found Chat GPT to be very helpful in helping me be succinct in my writing as well. So that might be a tool to use, at least to get you started in how to be more succinct in, a shorter description for putting together your Earth cache. I think
You do have to uh do have common sense when you're using the AI.
oh yeah.
If it comes back, Seebeck is landlocked in the middle of the desert. Yeah, okay, yeah, but let's try something else
Yeah,
here.
try again. Yeah. Well, a lot of it has to do with the prompt that you use as well. Because I know that's not what I meant. I meant this, and we'll come back and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me try again."
And glad you survived.
Yeah,
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 man.
yeah. But always be nice to your AI. Always be polite.
So we got some more hands.
We
We got to get
some
to
more
'em.
hands, and I'm sorry, but drinks are full price now.
Okay.
But I am more than willing. You're on vacation.
We're on vacation.
We're both on
Good.
vacation now. So we're more than willing to carry on tonight for a little while. So let's see, we've got Tom Fuller next, I believe, and then Scott, and then Vince.
No,
Yeah,
J&LA. Santa's sleigh is being pulled
so
by cats.
I remember doing one about 5 or 10 miles north of Gardner, Montana, north of Yellowstone, and it's just a pull off next to the main highway. I think it's 89, and you look across the valley, and there's this mountain over there. It's sort of red, and there's no trees on it. It's where they mine mercury,
Hmm.
and you answer the questions. You can do it in your car. So yeah, it might be helpful to have a pair of binoculars or something like that, but you don't want to go to where that earth cache is, or you just answer questions about how the mountain is leaning and what you observe. And it's got published, and it's very easy to do.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. And that's, special tool required is your binoculars. I love that.
Mhm.
Which is what I need today for all my eagle sightings. Let's see. Next up was Scott and then Vince.
Not Earth Cache related, but JNLA brought up something in chat that is really important to know. and that's that they have changed the treasures.
Yes.
And I'm just going to pass it on in 1 minute. They've changed the treasures so that every treasure that you're eligible for is active. So you don't have to activate them. You can prioritize up to 5. So if you go in there and prioritize them, but if they're not in your top 5 and you find one that qualifies, it will go ahead and give you the treasure. If it happens to qualify for 2, it's going to randomly give it to you if you haven't prioritized it. So the priority still counts. It's still important, but at least we don't have to go in there. And I think probably you and a lot of other people have had the experience of finding a cache that qualified for a treasure, but because it was not active, not one of your 3 active ones, you didn't get credit for it. So, and Lori, it looks like Lori's raising her hand or hiding her face.
I am, because I'm going to disagree with that.
Okay.
I had just this evening, I had a cache that was not in my, or treasure that was not in my 5 priority list.
Okay.
Logged my event. I logged the event that I had today, and it did not register. Now,
And you had,
hold
and you
on,
had,
hold on. I'll take that back. We figured out why. I just remembered. The newest ones that just came out, it has to be kid friendly. And so it didn't register. So I can't disagree with that. Dang it. Okay. Retrack.
So you had already qualified for the gift things, which
Yes.
required 5. Okay. Well, thank you very
Yes.
much. Thank you very much for supporting and helping explain.
Okay, I'm going to retract that one. I accidentally double clicked the recommended for kids, and it said not recommended for kids. So so I will retract that, and I'll experiment with that later and come back next time and see if it worked.
Okay. We expect a full report.
I eat humble pie right now. Sorry.
Well, I also heard that on the website. I haven't had a chance to check it out, but if you go to the web, you can see what treasures are available for a particular geocache. So I don't know what that looks like, but I have seen reports of that.
That is correct. I looked at it today. You go up to the page. There's a little tab for treasures, and you can click on it and see what the treasure is.
Cool. So yeah, I help folks in researching. I don't believe it's available in the app yet, though, that particular functionality.
Okay, so
that's what I read. Again, I haven't checked it out. But Vince has been waiting patiently. But you have stuff from YouTube first?
Nope, that's fine.
Okay, Vince, what's up?
Yeah, as Gerbs tested, whatever, he knows that usually EarthCaches are they're at the top of my list whenever I go on a geocaching. No, I usually I don't hate them, but a lot of it is they're usually not at the top of my priority list, mainly because they're sometimes a lot of them they're like really wordy, and they're and sometimes if I'm on a county run or a caching trip, I just don't have the time to invest into it though. But every once in a while, these incentives come out here that kind of get you out of your comfort zone. Like if a treasure comes out and you got to collect files. Well, it looks like I'm going to be doing some EarthCaches or whatever. And, fortunately, I was with another cacher who himself he's not a fan of EarthCaches either. And we were down in Ohio. And of course, being out of our local area, we were easily able to find a couple of those nice artesian wells or whatever. Just get a jug out, measure the water, flow rate, take a picture, good to go. But anyway, yeah, I do think Herbs is very good, with helping people getting EarthCaches set up, and he's kind of been twisting my arm too, and he gave me a very good idea. I just gotta make the time and get out there and execute it, which I'll hopefully probably I'll do this spring when I do my spring cache maintenance, and then hopefully I'll be in EarthCache hider, which I've never hidden one before. So, but otherwise, yeah, usually when I go on a trip or whatever, I always try to make sure I find at least maybe one or two, like out of my home area, just to build up the non-traditional totals and stuff. And usually because when you're out of your home area, it is easier to find one that more suits your taste and so forth. Because like around my local area, I've pretty much depleted all the older ones and stuff. So anyway, yeah. So
Gee, it's got me thinking. I'm wondering if for next season of the Geo Challenge of the Month, which will start again in April, if we need to do hide an Earth cache as a challenge. I mean, that's a challenge.
That's a
Personally,
challenge, yeah.
that's a big one.
You might want to issue that in January and give them till April.
Give them time to work on it. Yeah, this is what's coming. Yeah. Well, I'll have a chat with Josh. So he and I are often doing our winter conniving. I mean, planning for what we're going to be doing.
So this has been interesting. I want to interject. I learned that I was a featured part of the email tonight, so I started doing some research and in 18 years of geocaching, I've found 79 Earth caches. So, that's like 4.38888888 per year. And so I got to thinking, I'm going through my list of geocaches, Earth caches that I've found, and um, you know, there's a Eternal Flame. That's that's my all-time favorite. And I remember that one. I remember the 5 we did in Glacier Park National Bay on the cruise ship. They were nice, easy, and again because we're on on the cruise ship, and then all the rest, or not all the rest, but some. Okay, yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one. I did remember the Coal House in West Virginia as well. And then I don't even remember doing this. I don't remember what it was about. And I thought, so that's of all 79 Earth caches, there's 6 or 7 that stand out to me. And that's probably another reason why I'm down on Earth caches. But then I got to thinking, and I hope I can phrase this correctly, of all the non-Earth caches I have found, I would be hard pressed to name 8 of them off the top of my head. So what I'm saying is my most memorable caches have been Earth caches. Go figure.
This little homework assignment. Yeah, he didn't know what the topic was going to be. So this evening, when he got home from work, I said, be sure to read your email about Mappy Hour tonight. And that led him down the rabbit hole. So interesting. So I have another question. I see Tom Fuller's raised his hand, but I'm going to ask this question and then we'll get to Tom and go on. We've been talking about, some of us are like thinking about some ideas of what we might be able to do for an Earth cache, or, what makes a good Earth cache. And obviously it seems like keeping it simple to one topic. So I'd love to know from you all, and you can put it in the chat too, if that's easiest, or go ahead and talk about it, but, let us know why in more detail as to what's your favorite single topic idea for an Earth cache, something like glacial features, springs, floods, erosion, what interests you when you are finding an Earth cache or potentially hiding one. But go ahead, Tom, if you've got something as well.
Yeah, okay. So I was sort of inspired to do Earth caches by a geocacher named Volcano Guy, who is a geologist and a volcanologist. He used to work for the Forest Service. And I've asked him a few questions, and he's been gracious and answered them. Yeah. So the volcano guy is Bob Jensen. He's written a couple of books about mostly about geological things here in Oregon, mostly volcanoes.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that makes sense.
so, yeah. And I'll tell you the last time I saw a bald eagle is picking over a roadkill deer next to 97 in northern Klamath County. He raised his head up and I saw it was white. So, yeah, that's the second time I've seen a bald eagle working on a dead deer.
Yeah, they're the ultimate scavengers. Yeah. And that's how a lot of them get injured as roadkill and they get hit by cars. So if you see roadkill, be careful. Don't run over the roadkill. There might be an eagle snacking on it.
So to answer your question, before we get to Gerbs and Dick, is also the place, the earth itself, the place you're looking at. We'd went to the Arkansas trip
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
and we went for a regular cache that was hidden in this shaly, rocky cliff that it was just a fossil bed. Just you couldn't throw a rock without hitting another rock with a fossil because the rock you picked up to throw had a fossil in it.
Yeah.
And that was just screaming for an earth cache.
Yeah.
And
We couldn't find the traditional, unfortunately, but
yeah, so that
Mhm.
that would be a place for an earth cache.
With fossils
Yeah.
that you can see.
I mean,
and-
we're just the very top rock that I kicked over with my shoes, saying, "Oh, there's a cache under there," and here's this fossil is
Mhm.
well preserved.
Yeah, yeah, they were pretty cool. They looked like little SpaghettiOs. For sure. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
We've got multiple hands have come up. Gerbs and then Dick.
So I don't know that I have a favorite geological feature, but one of the things that I've come to appreciate about hiding earth caches is earth caches that are unique to an area. So I talked about those Sapping Valley one that I hid, and it was unique to that area. I had never heard of a Sapping Valley before, but two of my favorite ones that I've hidden, I'll put them in the chat. But one of them is where I live in Michigan. They're back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, there were a couple of quarries that they mined clay and they made the bricks there. And those bricks were used to make homes that still stand around where I lived. And so for the one earth cache, it brings you to actually an old school building that was made of these bricks, and they're white and they're orange and red in color. And there's a very unique how they were placed as well. It's not like your typical brick building, and so they're very unique to look at, these buildings. You can tell, and so that one I really wanted to make an earth cache because I'm like, this is really cool. Like this is very local to this area because the clay was mined here, it was kilned here, and those bricks then were used to build homes and schools and other things. And so that one I was really glad to make. And then the second one that I linked to was after living in an area for a very long time. They had changed where the river went, and this is actually in Northwest Indiana, just by southeast of Chicago and Lake Michigan. And when they were building the highway there, they had to reroute the river because it was just causing too much flooding. And so the Earth Cache focuses on the rerouting the river. And the only way I was able to create this is because over the course of about 5 years of living there, I saw the geological effects of them rerouting this river. And so it wasn't something that I would have been able to create right off the bat, but it was something like I saw the flooding, I saw what had happened and why they rerouted it. And so it was very unique to that location. They physically moved the river so that they could build a highway, and the Earth Cache focuses on that. And so for me, when I had an Earth Cache, in Michigan, we have tons of glacial moraines and other things, erratics. But I like to find interesting things are about that one area, like, hey, this is something that you're not going to find everywhere else, and try to highlight those.
That sounds
Okay.
awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check those out. Thank you for sharing those. I clicked on them and saved them. Yeah, remember that one that we did where it was that valley that was created in like a day.
Yeah, Little Grand Canyon is called.
Yeah.
And Walla Walla.
It's fascinating. And it was an earth cache. It had to do with a strange erosion event and
It
a
was
flood.
man-made. The basically in the 20s, a road crew was holding back water to like build a road or something,
Mhm.
and their little man-made dam broke, and there was such force of the erosion of the water, it made a really big
Canyon.
yeah,
Looked like a
yeah.
mini, small Grand
Yeah.
Canyon. Yeah. That was formed, geologically speaking, instantaneously.
hmm
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's see. We've got Dick
Dick.
and then Melissa.
Yeah, I want to make two comments. One was the type of earth cache that I don't particularly like are the ones that are asking you to analyze the crystal content and the composition of individual rocks. I find that to be very difficult, for me anyway. I enjoy more geological earth forms, unique forms of earth, valley slumping, for example, in the mountains, or a syncline or an anticline, where the angle of the layers of earth are formed different ways. We just did one the other day down at Calico Ghost Town down near Barstow, California, that has a bunch of folded waves of layers. It's very, very unique, very, very clearly demonstrates that particular thing. So I like those kind of things that show you earth forms, in the geological processes, but I don't like the minute grain. Here's these 5 types of rocks. Was this granite or is this some other form? Anyway, the other comment I wanted to make was about the distance between earth caches. There's one in the south rim of the Grand Canyon on one section of the trail that you can walk along the rim, and I think it's a multi-stage earth cache. It's got every 15 or 20 feet, there's another sample of the rock of the different layers that are exposed in the Grand Canyon, and it talks about those different things that I really enjoyed. And finally, about distance between earth caches. If you go to Budapest, Hungary, there's a museum in Budapest that has 26 earth caches in front of it. They're boulders about, have roughly 5 to 6 feet in diameter, and they're lined up along the front of the building about 8 feet apart, 8 to 10 feet apart. So, and there's 26 earth caches. So if you want to get a bunch of earth caches, go to Budapest.
Okay.
And go to the museum.
No. Well, being virtual, yeah, they can stack right next to each other. We saw that in was it Sellersburg or it was some Woodstock we went to, and there was just a plethora of earth caches in the river along there. I don't remember which one it was or where it was exactly. It's getting older and later at night. I don't remember exactly, but there were a lot.
Nicholson says from YouTube, I love EarthCache that answer the question, how did that happen? Or how did it get here?
Makes you think about, yeah, exactly.
But I'm with Dick. The last 2 earth caches I attempted were very much in that vein, excuse the pun. Here's this rock side, and it had strips of differing colors of and so okay, pass.
They were so subtle, we
yeah.
couldn't even tell the difference. Yeah, it
And
was very subtle.
then the next one we attempted was similar. It was super easy to get to, but it was all about crystals. And the questions were okay, this color of crystal that is 3 degrees temperature off white from this type of crystal is what type of crystal? And
Yeah.
it became the hard no crystal, and we got done.
You walked away. Yeah. This was at Crystal Bridges, at the museum site down in Arkansas. And the Earth Cache took us to where we could see all of these crystals, which was really cool, actually.
That part is cool.
Yeah,
to see
bringing
'em.
where it took us to. But the questions were just, I agree, they were just a little too esoteric, it seemed to me, to both of us. And we didn't end up answering it.
So we've got Melissa's been waiting
She
patiently.
very patiently.
Yes.
That's okay. I live in an area that had a lot of coal mining. And so some of our most interesting earth caches have been with the reclamation process from the coal mining. And
Oh.
parks that have signage and stuff that talks about it and actually shows you the features. And I have found those very interesting because you're learning something and you may have to walk around and read the different signs, but you see the process, and answering the questions if you're right there is not difficult. Couple others I've liked is an Ole Miss University. There is a big petrified log, and that was very interesting. That the questions were easily answered by being there. And another one, well, I live where the Allegheny and the Monongahela, come to form the Ohio, but I was someplace else and it had to do with water flow. The two rivers were very different that were forming the third. And they taught you in the write-up how to get an idea of how fast the rivers were flowing. So they taught you how to do it. Then you went out and did it. And of course, the flows of rivers are going to vary. So everybody's answers are going to be different. But one river, I mean, just physically, you could see how much more rapidly one river flowed than the other. But you actually went out and did a little test and, gave your answers. And again, it taught you how to do it and you did it. So I like that. I like something that it wasn't pages upon pages to read. But it taught you something and you could actually physically go and see it. And so that's another idea. If you have something that like that where you're at, that would make a good earth cache. A teaching moment that isn't what kind of rock is this?
Yeah.
Here's how this works. Now go see it and do that. Yeah. And then potentially an actual kinesthetic, a hands-on project as well, potentially.
So while we get to the rest of the Ohio people here, Mr. Geocaching is asking, now I've lost it. He's asking the trail of earth caches on the Ohio River. How do those get published?
I think those were the ones I was speaking of, and Gerbs mentioned that they're just north of Louisville. I think that was the ones.
Yeah. But the way that those have been published were the CO works hand in hand with the state park. That's right there, the Falls of the Ohio State Park. And that actually stretch, I went for the first time this year, and there's I want to say there's 10 on the Indiana side and 25 in the river. And that they work, I mean, they're the ones in the river on the federal land, but they work hand in hand with the state park, and each one of them is uniquely different, which they have to be, right? You can't have two that focus on the same thing. So for that, I mean, there's a lot of different fossils and that helps, but there's lots and lots of different ones, and that's how they're able to get those published because they work hand in hand with the state park and do some of the other work to get those published regularly. So.
Okay. Awesome. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I've heard about that. I remember, gosh, must have been a decade ago that, a certain topic around here was like, it's done. We've done way too many earth caches. We can't do any more on that topic. It's time to find something new, um, in a region or in an area.
Well,
And
on us, it's the
the
floods.
Ice Age
Yeah.
floods, Missoula floods, which I find fascinating. But I guess we'll just have to do more earth caches, find more, not hide more. Nancy.
Sort of. I'm pretty sure it's
Like Nancy.
Hi. Hi. Something I don't know if I brought it up on this forum before, but I have mentioned it at Meet and Eats about Earth caches, but it also applies to virtuals or any others that while we were traveling twice this year, once in Australia and New Zealand, and then once on our cruise with Dick and Peach and others. There were days that I chose not to do the cell phone traveling cell phone data, whatever, because I had downloaded everything I needed, and I'm like, okay, I'll just put my notes in the personal notes section. And I had copied, as I usually do, I copy the questions, put it in the notes, and then as we're going around, then I've got the questions. I can type my answers, and then I hit save. And when I get home, I can look through them. I can assemble my pictures that goes with it, blah, 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 blah. Well, because I, like Ken, don't always, especially when it comes to Earth caches and virtuals, I don't always log them in a very timely fashion. And so after the second time I was away from home, I decided, oh, I need to get my Earth caches and virtuals from my 2 trips logged. And so one night I had time. I'm like, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to do these. I get to one, I open it up, and my personal notes are completely blank. And I'm like, I remember typing answers in for this one. And so then I looked at some more, and there were the ones that when I wasn't connected to cell phone coverage, the personal notes on the official app, I'll say it this way, I don't know what other apps do or don't do, did not save my answers. And so now I'm like, oh man, now I've got to reassemble answers from memory. And at this point, my memory is 4, 5, 6 months old. And so Nancy and I are brainstorming, working on our answers. One Earth cache replied, owner replied, he goes, wow, if you did that all from memory, that's pretty amazing. But just as a note, if you're traveling and you're not connected to cell service, that could happen in your own area too, if you're not connected to cell phone. Double check to make sure, either do a screenshot or
Save it in
save it in. Amazingly, my draft notes were saved, but not my personal notes. So I don't know why Groundspeak decides that one's, more important than the other to save offline. But that's something if you're out and about and you're not in cell coverage, because we always talk about if you're not in cell coverage, make sure you do offline maps and da 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 da.
Right.
Well, it doesn't always work that way.
Yeah. So save it as a draft then.
Tucked
away.
For me, doing it in drafts is
Right.
harder because I like going back and forth to the cache page from time to time. And it's harder I felt it was harder to do as a draft and not as a personal note. Maybe that's just me, but I do also shout out to Dick for helping me reassemble some answers from our cruise that they were also on. I mean, we worked on it and we worked on it. I mean, we spent hours working on some of these Earth caches, and that's I heard a little bit earlier, making the difficulty appropriate for the Earth cache, because I've had some 1-1s and I've spent over an hour working on answers for, and to me that's not a 1 difficulty. Not necessarily on this trip, but I'm just saying it is frustrating to end up with multiple locations, multiple questions, and they give you 1 difficulty point for it.
Yeah.
Because if I'd have known that, I'd have just skipped it, because I didn't have time. So,
Right?
but anyway,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Nancy's
Well,
out now.
Yeah, I noticed Dick has his hand up and he probably tie into this.
Yeah.
But why don't we do this? Let's have Dick have the last word. My butt's getting tired and
Well, I'll keep it short. I'll keep it short. Regarding exactly what he was talking about, that Bob was talking about, on the app that I use, which is an Android app, which is GC Droid, I frequently cache by creating a database of the area that I'm going to be caching in, and I work off of that database. And sometimes it doesn't have all the caches, but just the ones that I know I want to get. What I have found, and I do the same thing that Bob's talking about, I will make notes, answers to virtuals and EarthCaches in my personal cache node. It has the ability to do that by going in and attaching a personal note and saving the information there. But what I've found is that if I'm working off of a offline database and do it on the cache on the offline database, and then later on when I go back and look at it, but I'm not looking at the database, I'm looking at that same cache in the live database, that the note doesn't move and show up in the other database. And sometimes that seems to be the problem. I don't know if it's that way all the time, but I've had that same issue that Bob's had, where I've made notes and then come back later and can't find them. But just recently I experimented and found that, okay, it's on this version of the cache page, or I mean the cache notes, but it's not on that version.
oh my goodness.
Just for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there was
Makes sense.
a comment in the chat about just taking a screenshot. So it's saved to your photos, your gallery, what you had put in there. So that's an idea as well. If you're not sure, if it's going to be saved or where to find it, grab a screenshot of your phone if you're just caching with your phone. Or, there's the old thing about carrying a pen and paper as well. But I know, crazy. Yeah, that's the original technology, guys. One of the original technologies. But yeah, we do try to yeah, there's that too. Yeah. Carve it in a rock and then make an earth cache out of it and
Just carve it
later.
the fossil, leave the fossil.
Yeah. Do we have anything to share from YouTube, or just want to thank you guys? You've been really active on YouTube tonight. That's been fun to peek over and take a look at.
Yeah. So
Vegas's.
they've been talking about maybe making a geo art out of earth caches. That could probably be done. Don't see why not. And then Mr. Geocaching is saying, thank you for putting this on. I've learned a lot.
Oh, good.
And I think I'm ready, hopefully, fingers crossed, to get my first Earth Cache published.
Excellent. Well, yeah, I've definitely got a lot of really good ideas tonight. So I want to thank all of you. And maybe it seems like we're reeling this guy back in to some Earth caches and giving me some good ideas on something that I could hide that he would enjoy finding.
Yeah.
And yes, it's definitely is, the old thing is we say, hide what you want to find. So that also makes sense too. And Peach, I think this might be a record for Mappy Hour. Where are we at? Oh my goodness, 43 minutes after. So yeah, we're almost at 2 hours. Yeah. An hour and 3/4. So tonight's Mappy Hour is brought to you by Gift Crates. I'm going to pop in a quick little link here. It's too late for us to ship anything in time for Christmas. That window has closed for us to get any products out to you all for geocaching for Christmas time. But our gift crates are the perfect solution for that. So we have 3-month, 6-month, and then a whole year subscription, and it's non-renewing. So it's, that's what it is. And you can go over to our website. I put in the link there at cacheadvance.com, or you can just go to cacheadvance.com and scroll down and you'll see there where you can sign up. And it's a perfect gift for the geocacher in your life, or you, if you want to give them if you want to figure out, is the cache crate something I might want to do? And then if you do like it and enjoy it, there'll probably be a coupon or a discount as your plan ends if you'd like to join up with the regular subscription, or any of them. We have 6 to choose from, but we just do the regular cache crates. And so as soon as you sign up for that, you get an email immediately, automatically, that will give you a printable gift card that you can hand to the person that you're buying the subscription for. And then in addition to that, you also get a $15 coupon that you can use on our website at any time. So those don't expire. One use only per person for those, but you can use them anytime. I've had people use them a whole year later when they go Christmas shopping again the next year. So check that out. Oh yeah, we are almost at a CCE virtual good. I like
my
it.
computer is saying, feed me. Its
Yeah,
battery's
my
dead.
battery's dying too. Yeah, when we move over here to record
studio,
the studio, I'm out of reach of my cable unless I go completely rearrange it. So anyway, thank you all. This is some really good conversation tonight. So really appreciate everybody's insight and experiences and thoughts on how to hide a better geocache or a better earth cache for sure. So we'll see you all in 2 weeks, right?
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Merry Cashmas, everybody. And we'll see you all in 2 weeks. Yeah. Merry, happy Cashmas.
That would be
to
next year,
all.
wouldn't it?
Gosh, I have to look at the
Yeah, it
calendar.
is.
Are we following?
My birthday.
Oh, the next one is on your birthday?
That's right.
Another special thing for our Mr. Birthday Boy.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I'll report on how many earth caches I found.
And maybe I'll have hidden one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks you all. We'll see you all same cache time, same cache channel. And yeah, Merry Cache.